I gotta say, those thighs looking a little delicious. I'm no gooner, but I kinda am. Alright, my DGens, 2.0 drip marketing. Super keen to see what MiHoYoverse has cooked up for us. We've got the teaser right here. This is gonna be the JP version first. I will also listen to the English version because, to be honest, I played through JP. If you guys don't know, spoiler ahead, but she shows up in the story for 1.7. And holy crap, all I can say is that her voice absolutely fits the character in JP. So I do want to hear the English version and see if it kind of fits like the teacher, mentor, that kind of vibe. That said, let's have a look at Yixuan first in Japanese. Whew. Oh my god! Holy shit! Alright, that's kind of like one of the nicest jump scares I've ever had in my life. Holy shit, that was like some frame zero jump scare with... I gotta say, those thighs looking a little delicious. I'm no gooner, but I kinda am, alright? Especially for hags. Alright, let's keep it moving. Not bad. Why do they have windows over here? This serves absolutely no purpose. What the heck? I gotta say though, seeing a little bit more of the promotional images like this, I think that she is in proportion. I think that her character does look alright. Okay, let's keep going. Why was that so fast? What the heck? Alright. What the frick am I looking at? Holy shit. I gotta say, if there is only one simp in the world for Yixuan, it'd be me. But I just noticed all of this down here. Like, what the heck is going on? My DGens, that is 3 new different symbols. We've got one over here where I thought that potentially she'd be a void hunter. No, instead she's got whatever the heck that is. I actually have no idea. Like, I have zero clue. Maybe it's another rank, like she's the master of the Yunkui summit. That makes a little more sense. And then we've got 2 different symbols for the weapon type or class, as well as the element. Like, to be honest, I look at these and I just have absolutely no freaking idea. Like, Miyabi's one, if we go back, like this is what Miyabi's element looked like when she came out on drip marketing. It was quite clearly some kind of combination of fire and ice, especially when you went and compared it with the ice icon. Like, that looks very much like that, just with a little bit of like flamey. Turns out we were right, frostburn. However, coming back to the Yixuan, both of these icons, I have no freaking idea. What I do know though is it's looking like both a new class and a new attribute, which is kind of bonkers. To be honest, this kind of makes sense because we are filling out the roster pretty fast. Like, we almost have one character for every single element plus weapon type there is, and we have a lot less elements and classes compared to both Genshin and Star Rail, so this does kind of make sense. That said though, seeing the symbol over here still makes me think that Yixuan is going to be a special class character. She is going to be hopefully something like Miyabi level. So at this point in time, I'm still looking at her and trying not to goon, but also expecting her to eclipse everyone else. And holy crap, if you guys like played through the story, you'll see how she freaking just thrashed those guys around. All right, now that we've got the serious part out of the way, let me just have like a quick goon. Holy shit, man. I will never get over that. All right, let's keep going. That's all right, but she is, I gotta say. Okay, hold up. I said I would goon, but I just realized he is actually extremely inspired by like the Taoist stuff, right? If I go in a little bit, she actually does have quite a lot of design inspiration from like Taoism. We've got like this medallion over here as well as the tassels, but more iconic is this one over here, the yin yang. Hopefully everyone in chat will know what yin yang is. All of these, as well as kind of like the black and white scheme, they're all very Taoist. I gotta say, like, wow, the devs are really good at thinking with one hand. And that bird as well, man. I'm a pretty big fan of like ink weapons and phoenixes. Now, I think it's a phoenix, not 100% sure. But all in all, everything I see, holy crap, I am freaking locked in, baby. All right, and so alongside the PV, we also have the agent record, which is the static image. So just zooming in a little bit, we've got the symbols, we've got the Yixuan with whatever the heck that is, and then whatever the heck these ones are. Ooh, actually, when I look at the symbol, I'm wondering if it's kind of like a transforming mechanism. And then thinking about what we saw from her within the 1.7 story, all of that ink stuff, like realistically, it's probably not fire, ice, or electric. So I'm guessing that she's going to be some kind of like completely new attribute or a blend of maybe like physical and ether. Like she does all of those martial arts kicks and stuff, and then she wrecks them all with the ink. Yeah, now that I think about it, I'm thinking physical and ether mix, similar to Miyabi's fire and ice mix, but not really. She's really just ice. Yeah, okay, that would be my guess. So coming down, let's have a look at some of the other content. Once you enter these gates, leave your worldly concerns and formalities at the foot of the mountain. That is very Taoist. Holy crap, super spiritual. I wonder if the new element is going to be like spiritual. Although Ether kind of covers that. Or maybe it's an element that preceded Ether, because Ether really came with the hollows and all of that. Anyway, down here we've got some quotes. Jufufu, the Tiger Theorem that we did see in Hollow Zero, I believe, when new one opened up. Now, interestingly, we have Pan Yinhu, I'm pretty sure is the panda. So maybe in 2.0, it's looking like we might be experiencing it with Jufufu as well as Pandaman. All right, and then Yunkui Summit disciple whose talisman failed to receive Yixuan's evaluation. I'd rather be banished by my own talismans than face that look from Shifu. Oh, like that look? Holy shit, dude. I will take that look any day. Yunkui Summit disciple, we can swap places anytime, my brother. And then a story about those times. That night, the sky was ablaze with crimson flames and the Shifus of Yunkui Summit walked silently into that endless darkness. Shifus, so that implies that there is actually more than one. So maybe she isn't the only one that's kind of at the pinnacle. And maybe that's what this symbol stands for, actually. Yunkui Summit. I think this just means that she is kind of like at the pinnacle, one of the masters of Yunkui Summit, which makes a lot of sense. So what we're saying is that lore-wise, Yunkui Summit, the masters are equivalent to Void Hunters. All right, honestly, I am pretty freaking keen to see where this is going, because holy shit, those white hair and yellow eyes, this combination is an actual killer. And just like taking a little peek down there. Oh my god. Hey, and she's got the sleeves as well, except this is a really modern twist. I did see a lot of people say that they think that her design is really like Hoyo generic. I disagree. I think that there are so many Taoist inspirations and little tidbits. Maybe it's just because like Western audience, we're not really familiar with these kinds of specific, very specific references. But yeah, wow, all I can say is I am freaking locked in for mama. All right, and then we've got Pandaman. Let's have a look. Oh, I freaking knew it. Oh, I'm sorry, my friends. Homeboy is very definitely a 4-star character. He is not moving at all. It is unfortunately the fate of Bear Men. First we had Ben, now we have Pan Yinhu, or Pandaman. Holy crap, I don't know how many people are actually going to call him Pan Yinhu. But what we do see is physical defense, which is actually technically already occupied by Caesar, so I do think that it would have been cool if he was like an attacker or a stunner or something, maybe something aside from defense, considering we already have Ben, who's already defense. Like, come on guys, you guys could be a little bit more creative with this one. But it is what it is. Homeboy is going to be physical defense. And for those of you who are not familiar with the defense class, generally speaking, they give shields and buffs that are kind of dependent on those shields. It has been a while since we've seen a new defense character, so who knows, maybe they reworked that philosophy. But that team is Pandaman, our new 4-star for patch 2.0. All right, sneaky peek for Yixuan in English.
The most opportune moment was yesterday. It is the duty of mystics like ourselves to protect and to seek.
That's pretty good. I gotta say, I do think that fits the character quite well. Well done, VA. Well done. Huh, it doesn't tell us the voice actress anywhere. Maybe it's got to do with the strike, who knows. But my DGens, that's the sneak peek, the drip marketing for 2.0. We've got 5-star Yixuan because again, she's got the live 2D. You can see her, she's moving. But then again, this is literally like a ZZZ, a MiHoYoverse special. White head, yellow eyes, gotta be important. I don't make the rules, man. They do. That said, my DGens, let me know what you think of my theories around Yixuan. There is so much mysticism around this character because we're seeing 3 different symbols that we have no idea about. I do think, and I'm pretty convinced that the first symbol is, again, about her being the master, one of the masters of Yunkui Summit. And then again, on top of that, I do think that she might be a blend of physical and ether. But other than that, I have no idea because she has shown that she is a martial artist as well as really adept at using some kind of ink power. She could literally be any class, probably not a support. I would say she's probably not support or defender, maybe something more along the lines of attacker, anomaly, or just some kind of main DPS. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting, especially from what we saw in game. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about Yixuan. Are my guesses on point or am I freaking smoking or not? And if I am smoking or you think I am smoking, then do let us know what you think. But otherwise, this is the end of the video. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.